Welcome ladies and gentlemen to my YouTube channel. Hope you are all doing well. My name is Riga. For my returning viewers and also to my new subscribers, I usually appreciate so much for your great support always. So for now Kenyans, early in the morning today, tulipata that the two activists, Bob Njagi and Nicholas Oyoo, they were being released yesterday from Uganda and they were being dropped at Uganda Busia border. But for now, there is certain demands which the Ugandan government came out and gave. And these are the demands zenye family of both Bob Njagi and Nicholas Oyoo came in and agreed that this and this is the things which we will follow. So it was like an agreement, walikubaliana, both the families of Bob Njagi and Nicholas Oyoo with Uganda's government. So hawakuwa tu released hivyo, no, there was a certain negotiation, an agreement which were being made in between the families of both Bob Njagi and Nicholas Oyoo, because today tuliona that wampatikana pale kwa border ya Busia Uganda, na sasa watu wanasema tio waliachiliwa tu because of the time na nini, but some of the people hawajui ni nini iliendelea behind the scenes. Ndio sasa Nicholas Oyoo and Bob Njagi wafanye nini? Waachiliwe. And even tunaambiwa that there was a certain intervention, Uhuru Kenyatta's intervention. Even Uhuru Kenyatta was being included inside that conversation for the release of Bob Njagi and Nicholas Oyoo. So before I proceed and inform you what were these demands which Uganda's government gave out in order for the release of Bob Njagi and Nicholas Oyoo, for more updates and have not subscribed to the YouTube channel, take a second, hit the subscription button, and again, don't forget to like the video. Just a reminder, otherwise, thanks so much for that like and again for that subscription. So first of all, nimekuambia that even Uhuru Kenyatta ali-intervene in order for the release of the two activists, Bob Njagi and Nicholas Oyoo. So the family of Bob Njagi and Nicholas Oyoo, they came out to tell us that Ugandan officials walisema that wali-detain both Njagi and Oyoo because walikuwa nataka kudiscourage any future involvements in campaigns against Museveni's administration or his allies. That's why the two of them were being captured, both Nicholas and Bob Njagi. So Museveni aliona hawa watu wanataka kukampeni hapa Uganda, na sasa nyinyi itabidi tumwachukua. And that's why walifanya nini? Walichukuliwa. And this is what Frank Njagi came out and said, the father to Bob Njagi. He said, as I quote, "We were told that the intention was to keep them in custody until after the elections. We had to promise that once released, he would never go back to Uganda to campaign for President Museveni's opponents." Those are the words which Frank Njagi, the father to Bob Njagi, came out and said after the release of his son, Bob Njagi. So, wanaambiwa that walikuwa kept in custody because Museveni alikuwa anaona that these people wana campaign. Na wakikampaign hapa, ndio unajua tu Museveni pia huwezi campaign against him na vitu zingine. So Museveni yeye pale ni yeye tu. And that's why waliamua kudetain both Njagi and Oyoo. And that's why the father to Njagi is coming out to say that waliambiwa that the intention ilikuwa ya kukeep both Bob and Oyoo until the election. So the intentions of the Uganda's government, it was to keep both Njagi and Oyoo until January, after elections zimefanyika pale nini? Pale Uganda. So that's why ulikuwa unaona that even the Ministry of Foreign Affairs wanangangana kuandika mabarua, but hakukuwa na any positive result. Why? Because tunaambiwa the intention was to keep them in custody until after the elections. So those were the demands which Uganda's government came out to release, because ilikuwa tu lazima wakubaliane with the family of both Bob Njagi and Nicholas Oyoo, because Museveni alikuwa anaona that these people wana campaign for the opponents and again for some of the allies. So itabidi sasa Museveni afanye nini? awachukue. That's why tumeona sasa walikuwa detained pale hivyo Uganda for many days, around 38 days. So up to now Uganda walikuwa wamedetain both Oyoo and Njagi because at those two people walikuwa na campaign for Museveni's opponents. Sasa walikuwa na campaign on the side of opposition. And that's why sasa Museveni akaona hawa watu wawili sasa, alafu to make the matters worse, nyinyi si wa huko, nyinyi si wa hiyo inchi, nyinyi ni wa foreigners. So ikaribu kila kitu. So for now tunaambiwa that Njagi and Oyoo were being held to discourage any future involvements in campaigns against Museveni's administration or his allies. And tunaambiwa that this prompted the family to negotiate for their release through diplomatic and personal channels. Ndio maana nimekuambia that there was an agreement. Watu walikubaliana pale between the family of both Bob Njagi and Nicholas Oyoo with Uganda's government. And for now, let us talk about this issue of Uhuru Kenyatta's intervention, because most of you nimejua mumeona the news that Uhuru alipiga simu nini hapa na pale, aka-intervene katikati, then later on tukaona Bob Njagi and Nicholas Oyoo wamekuwa released, in which later on tumeona sasa Frank Njagi, the father to Bob Njagi, alikame out to disclose that the family sought help from both the Kenyan government and also influential figures. And among those influential figures was the former president Uhuru Kenyatta. Na tunaambiwa yeye ndio aliongea na nani? Aliongea na Museveni's son known as General Muhoozi to intervene in the matter. So Uhuru Kenyatta yeye alipiga simu kuongea na General Muhoozi. And that's when now tuliona sasa mambo at least ikakuwa rahisi. So Uhuru ali-intervene in between the negotiation. And tunaambiwa sasa yeye ndiye alifanya vitu zikakuwa at least rahisi. Because the government of Uganda, hao walikuwa wameamua kudetain both Bob Njagi and Nicholas Oyoo until January after the national elections. So because of Uhuru Kenyatta's intervention on the other side, that's why sasa tuliona walitolewa. But hata kama walitolewa, there was an agreement. Na agreement ilikuwa that these two people wasiwahi onekana Uganda na wasiwahi patikana Uganda. Hata wasiwahi fanya kitu yote inahusiana na vitu za Uganda. And that's what now happened in between the family of both Bob Njagi, Nicholas Oyoo and the government. Wali agree na waka negotiate. And during that negotiation is where now tunaambiwa that Uhuru Kenyatta intervened by now calling who? Calling Yoweri Museveni's son, General Muhoozi. So it means that for now at least Uhuru Kenyatta alisaidia mahali, even if yeye ni the retired president, yeye alisaidia mahali. And that's why Njagi's father is coming out to tell us that the family sought help from both the government and also the influential figures. Na tunaambiwa that among those influential figures was the former president Uhuru Kenyatta. Whereby tunaambiwa that Uhuru Kenyatta ndiye aliongea na Museveni's son known as General Muhoozi. So after that ndio sasa demands zikakuja, watu waka agree, then baadaye Bob Njagi and Nicholas Oyoo, they were being released. So it was not just something easy the way people wanafikiria eti hawa watu wawili waliachiliwa tu, because nimekuambia the intentions of Uganda's government was to keep these two people until January after the general election kufanyika pale Uganda. So it was a nice intervention which came from Uhuru Kenyatta and also the government of Kenya. So what's your opinion? Drop it at the comment section. Otherwise, thanks so much for your great support. Consider subscribing, commenting, liking, and also sharing. Let's meet in another video.